and did a presentation for them. And that's something that we've done many times, that we're big believers in, that if you create so much as just one client, then that should more than cover the cost of the dinner. And the intimacy that you get from this 5 people around a dinner table, that sense of soul family that we're really big on, because that's what happens with people breaking bread and community. There is a bonding that happens there, that feel good that they associate with you. And you're not just sitting around like chit chatting around the dinner table, you're actually up there presenting. So it's the best of everything. You have that connection as well as the positioning of the stage. And here's another example of a retreat, which is what I'm guessing many of you are interested in or already doing, where this increasingly has been what a lot of people are drawn to. There is a demarcation line to be noted pre and post COVID, that before COVID, you could get away with the hotel ballrooms that people did for decades, the hotel ballrooms. And then when everything shut down, we were all forced to go online. And a lot of those hotel ballrooms that were more, you might say, guru centered, where it's about the expert sharing their knowledge, they were able to adapt online and found that they could make a lot more money and work a lot less if they just focus on the online experience. So some of the most profound transformational events I've been to have all gone online for that reason, where it was really an exceptional leader and they have gone that space. And we honor them. That's their path. And I'm guessing that if you're here, you would not be satisfied just doing online transformational events, especially multi-day ones, like 3 days online. That's not something that Monty and I would enjoy participating in, frankly. And we definitely don't want to be leading them either. And that's where post-COVID, the retreats have really blown up as a destination for folks, where if someone is going to get out from behind their computer, leave their home, it should be for a real powerful experience they could not possibly get at home. So having a unique destination, having all the sensory experience of like the amazing food, getting in your body and dancing and doing all these things that would be more retreat like than you would say in a hotel ballroom. That's where things are going. People pay for experiences now. And because it's so valuable, there is not much limit on what you can charge for these. We have friends who charge $20,000 for their retreats. We don't charge nearly that much. And people will pay for these. And it really gives you the freedom to create your own best life and then help others with that as well. Monty, you want to add to that?
Well, what is really coming up for me is that a lot of these leaders who took it online, they did it because they have the name and the branding available now for them to be the biggest authorities online, and they don't need to spend on these, heavy cost intensive live events, but they built it that way. It was their stepping stone to success, and we cannot forget that. And someone like Tony Robbins, he's back. He's back in the lives game, right? Like he's not doing everything online. So just I feel like it's always the hybrid. It's never just or. It's more of both and more, right? So it's a hybrid model that we're rooting for because humanity cannot shift forward without really exchanging energy and hugs and presence of each other and the ripple effects that come from these live events. I am a stand for that.
So let's keep it, let's hear from you all actually. What is the next level for you with hosting live events? So if you could light up the chat, whether it's hosting a dinner, whether it's hosting something at your home, you're thinking, whether it's hosting a retreat, please light up the chat. We'd love to get in your worlds a bit more and hear what's alive for you in this area. Hey, Dave says, hosting a retreat on my property in Yosemite. Is that the goddess retreat? Is that if you can just comment in the chat that you share with me? Brennan says hosting 1 to 2 day weekend events. Awesome. So we'll be digging into how many days is ideal, that works best, and we can examine that a little more closely with you. Separate from the Goddess Retreat. Okay, cool. So in addition, your property Yosemite is definitely powerful when you have your own property, as Monty and I do. We have a couple different properties we can host events. Sherry is hosting dance and wellness classes, planning Caribbean Dream Retreats. Oh, who's enrolled in that? Caribbean Dream Retreats for 2025, 26.
That.
Okay. Awesome, gang. So Mira mentioned she's thinking of hosting a retreat as well. So you're definitely in the perfect space. All of you are, if you're in this conversation of how to be bringing live events to your business in an even bigger way. Here's a quote we like from marketing guru Seth Godin. Tribes make our lives better, and leading a tribe is the best life of all. So that powerful sense of belonging, I can think of no higher calling to have than to unify people. If you look at the ones that we really salute in human history, from Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, these are all examples, Mother Teresa, of ones who have unified people, crossed some divides, and brought people together. And I encourage you to see your live in-person events as a way to do that. And in this time, especially, gosh, we are 2 months away from the election, less than, where the polarization and us versus themness, it's kind of a sad thing that, I mean, is what it is, that every 4 years, like, there's this polarization that happens in this country that's especially heightened. So who are we going to be about it? What difference do we get to make? We're definitely not people who would just complain on the sidelines. I don't think you would be here if you're that kind of person. You are a leader who takes a stand. And this is one of the ways to take a stand, is through creating tribes. And we believe that having in-person events is a big part of that. So our intentions for today is that we'll examine how events can dramatically grow your business. We'll go through our methodology around that. And then 2 is that we'll connect and serve some of you individually afterwards, is our intention. That this is a way of getting to know me and Monty. And we have a program, Abundant Tribe Leader, which is dedicated to you launching your tribes, using live events, earning an additional $250,000 a year in your business. This is something that we've done, that we empower others to do, and we have testimonials that back it up. So some of you will be called towards that. We're definitely not for everyone. So our intention is that by the end of our time today, that you'll know whether there's something here to further explore or not. Little background on me. I've been leading seminars since 2011. And this is me in the hotel ballroom space. And, it's not bad. It's what was certainly common, expected at the time. And I got to about 250,000 a year in doing this kind of speaking to create clients, like type business. Yet come 2018, I had burned out from doing this, from traveling to the different conferences. And I was with my first wife at the time, and it was me as a sole provider for both of us. And I felt very trapped by this. And that sense of separation between me as the leader and the people I was speaking to, it did not nourish me. It did not feel purposeful. There was a sense of a box to be put in, and that I was there to help them make more money. And that's who I was for them. And the actual depth and transformational impact that I could be having in their lives could not be fully realized with the niche that I had chosen. So just help people speak, create clients. On one hand, there was the transformation, yet I knew I was called for something more. Yet come 2018, I had burnt out and just stopped doing my business altogether after 7 years. Then I met Monty in 2022. And when we came together, we knew that we wanted to create tribes, and to create tribes of tribe leaders, ones who really were aligned with our values of wealth, health, and spirituality. where it would be fun, it would be highly interactive, and it would really uh, create this profound sense of soul family. And the key was to do this in a way that was financially sustainable because, as Monty and I have frequently pointed out, we're not into the broke spiritual mindset. And this notion of like, oh, being a good person means that you don't make lots of money. This is an antiquated, like previous generations kind of mindset that has infected a lot of people's consciousness. And we frankly see it as one of our responsibilities to remedy that, to create a clean view of one's path. And one's path, just to really declare it, is that you're here to help people in a profound transformational way, make lots of money, and experience the deep fulfillment that goes with that. That's what we're up to. And everyone here is a reflection of that. Monty, you want to add something?
Well, I stand for a world where most heart center people have the most amount of money, because that's what the world needs right now is a shift in the paradigm. We want to go on the side of the light where health is viewed as true health and not a way to monetize bodies and bank accounts. There's just a lot of things that have gone far out of control because I come from medicine and allopathic medicine, and I have practiced for at least, I would say, about total, including my school years. And after that, practice for a few more years. So about 8, 9 years of total practicing and seeing that people are marginally alive. And some of these people are very heart centered and they're the most amazing human beings. Yet they're just so broke. And we're here to shift that. We're here to create a new paradigm where we create at least about 1,000 millionaires. That's what I'm standing for.
Yes. Uh, we look to the polarization we mentioned earlier, or as we saw it on mine and Monty's first date, we talked about the matrix and how this shows up in real life through the systems of control that we see at the levels of government, corporations, and how that comes through in our education system, in some cases, organized religion, as a way to control people. And as we saw it, that the reason that Mosaic came together as a couple, and especially as a couple in entrepreneurship, was to free people from these and to call forth the leaders who also experience this calling to liberate others from this, whether it's unplugging from the matrix or just creating this values of true wealth, true health, and true spirituality. That's what we're here for. So hopefully if you're here, you resonate with some of that. And now we'll dive into what that looks like as a business for you. So this model here is a very simple one to illustrate how it works. So this is the Abundant Tribe Leader business model. So this is what we do and we teach others, where you
Can
would
you
hope.
do full screen, please, John?
I thought it's funny. It appeared that way on my end, and yet it wasn't on your end. So I'll try this again. How about now?
Much better because it's really shrunk on, and then yeah, that's
All right.
good.
So you have a retreat, and again, we like focusing on a retreat because that really communicates a high value, unique experience. And just note if there's some voice inside of you that says like, oh, that's a one day someday thing, oh, it's so much work and it's so much money, just kind of put all that aside right now, please, because it will be this haze in front of you that you won't be able to see this clearly. It's like Charlie Brown's parents. Wow, 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 wow. You can't hear what we're even talking about with that going on. So, for the sake of you and your purpose and your tribe, put all that aside if that is there for you and just lean into this. Okay. The retreat model, you could charge $19.97 on the lower end to $5,000 to attend. we like the idea of making it an all-inclusive experience. You could decide what works for you financially. We don't think that you should be spending more than 8 to 10,000 on your first retreat as you're getting this down, maybe even less than 8,000. And if you figure this, then all right, 1997. If you have 4 people pay, then you're at the break-even point. We do recommend having some one-on-one practice already in place. This is not the way to start your business if you're brand new. So you should already have a few clients already. I would say half dozen clients that already are in the practice of paying you. And if you have those 6 clients, then it stands to reason that, hey, I love Brendan, I love Sandra. I'd be curious who else is in their client base. That would be cool to get together. Yeah, I do want to go to San Diego or Austin. We're not big fans too of the whole like Bali, Costa Rica, Antarctica first time retreat thing because that's a bridge too far for people. It's a big friggin' ask of them financially, time wise to do that. And obviously, it's a lot more work and strain and expense on your part. So, growing your tribe local, and then chances are a lot of them will be from that area as well. So, then it's added value, it's true relationships. Like Sandra, we met you yesterday, those are all people, I think, except for you and Adam too, had all been our retreats. Like they all knew each other. So, that's the kind of tribe and soul family that we're talking about that could happen at your local retreats. So that is on the front end. Monty, do you want to speak about the retreat part?
Well, honestly, like when people put a retreat on the map that's international and far away, we're asking people to kind of marry us on the first date, right? And that's a little too much. People get cold feet. So we have a client right now. She put a retreat on the map, which is happening now, actually, right now in Greece. And she had to deal with some chargebacks because people got cold feet or, they get in their head. So we're not a stand for international retreats until you have done at least about 3 retreats here in States where you've built up a tribe where you have at least about 40 people, 50 people who have gone through your retreats and they love it. So we are ourselves doing our first international retreat next year, and that'd be our 7th retreat.
Yeah.
7th or 8th, yeah. So we're not even, not even doing it ourselves as a 4th retreat. So keep that in mind. Like why a lot of international retreats don't do well, because you're asking too much for people who haven't really gotten to know you that well.
Yeah. And to add context for how we're doing the international retreat is actually a part delivery item for our tribe, which we'll go to next. It's not just an a la carte retreat that we're trying to fill, which is a mistake that many retreat leaders make. And we want to highlight a few of those mistakes that retreat leaders make. So one is to Monty's point about hosting it somewhere because you just feel that calling to. There's a distinction between, we would identify it as entrepreneur mindset versus artist mindset. I come from an artist background. I wanted to write screenplays my whole life. I went to USC Film School, and when I graduated, I thought if I just write my screenplays well enough, they're going to sell and I'm going to make lots of money. And that was not my experience. And I know I'm not alone with this. And having been a music and arts festival promoter, having worked with many artists, I know and can relate to very much the artist mindset. And in the case of retreats, it would be, I have a calling to host a retreat in Bali, just like how someone would say, I have a calling to paint this painting or write this album. And I hope I make money from this. That is a really tough way to be providing for yourself. If you are in a position where you are already wealthy and you see it more as an expression, then I would say go for it, right? However, if you are in business and this is a way to grow your business, you got to approach it as an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur solves problems for a group of people. And that's one of the big mistakes you see missing with retreats is that there's no clear niche that's been identified. So a niche is a group of people you serve and the problem you solve for them. So our niche is coaches, consultants, and healers. And we solve this problem for them of how to use live events and to grow their business, how to create their tribes, right? That's what we do. Other niches we serve, within our tribe would be so Scotty O, one of our tribe members, he serves those in the Tantra community. And to solve this problem of them being cut off from their sexuality and empowering them with their awakening, to Knock, serving. How would you describe Knock's niche? I want to shift it a few times.
She's, she's serving healthcare professionals to have mostly healers to have a financial foundation. So she's standing for healers to be wealthy, and she wants to support her whole the finance and operation part from
Yes.
her business.
Mhm. Yes, I remember that recent breakthrough. And Knock, anything you want to add to that real quick since you're here?
Definitely. I mean, for me, it's how do I help healers heal their finances so that they can heal humanity? And it was through the Abundant Tribe community that I came to this aha moments like, I am a financial healer. And that's so important because every one of us do our businesses, but we need to take care of our finances first, right? Before we can even do anything else. So that's why I love our community is how we can share health, wealth, and spirituality.
Mm. Yes, gang. So do you see how this aligns more with filling a retreat? Because what most people would do is they'll pick that far off location and say it's for anyone who has a desire to go to Greece or wherever. So if you don't do that and you do it locally, then the next mistake is then you say this is for anyone who wants to come together, who resonates with me and my posts, and we'll come together for this thing. And that's going to still make it hard to fill your retreats. Not saying that this is for healthcare professionals. If you think about the reasons that people invest in themselves, each of those people paid for some higher education to be around other healthcare professionals. Your retreat is an extension of that. People pay to be around other professionals, and that's a very natural niche to have, is based on industry or occupation. So by doing this, we're not reinventing the wheel. There's a precedent for people paying to be with each other in person. So you have that plus the retreat experience, which we recommend being someplace nice that would be easy to get to. And you'll be able to fill it a lot more easily. And Knox is a great example of someone who has many clients and has been serving people at a really high level. She has a trust relationship with them. So now it's game on with the retreat. So
Absolutely. So I wanted to just quickly add this that again, Knock is doing it in SoCal here in San Diego area to make it easy and accessible for people to get to.
yeah, and she might be using our retreat house for that, which we love. So if you have 15 people, just to do the numbers, at say 3,000 each. So 3,000 is a typical price point for a retreat. And if you had 15 people at that price point, then you've earned 45,000 on the front end. Now, the next major mistake that retreat leaders make is they don't offer anything at the retreat. There is no place to go in terms of staying in the tribe and rising together. They treat the retreat as an a la carte investment. And we see this as criminal activity. We're using a strong phrase deliberately here. That if you crack people open, your retreat fundamentally is going to give people, those who've done Landmark Forum will especially get this, or you had any transformational experience, will know what it's like to be cracked open. And to have this higher context for what life could be, and wow, I can relate to people like this. I can relate to myself like this. I could feel like this. That's what your retreat accomplishes. So then to then say to them, well, glad you came. Good luck with that. Hopefully you don't feel too buried with your emails and texts you have to catch up on since you've been with us for the last 3 days. That's what we call criminal activity. To not honor them and their transformation that you obviously played a huge part in creating, we see that to be criminal. So the solution instead is to make an offer for them to join your tribe. And this is where the transformation, the connection, the breakthroughs, the insights, the clarity that they got can be actualized in the course of a tribe. We subscribe to doing it for either 4 months or 1 year, and here's why. If it's your first time leading a tribe, and we'll go into further what all is included in leading a tribe in the next slide. But if you're for your first time doing it, 4 months tends to be a good time period where it's long enough for people to get a real transformation and growth. Yet it's not so long where people will spin out and quit before it's over, typically. Sometimes people do 90 days. We see that as a little too short because people can just be getting going like by that time. And it's also one less month of income for you. And 4 months tends to be a good time period where at the end of that, people could extend to 1 year, which is really the model that's worked well for us and our tribe as well. So what you might charge for this tribe, if you're doing the 1 year model and you could chunk down to 4 months accordingly, would be $12,000 to $60,000 for 1 year. So either $1,000 a month for 1 year or $5,000 a month for the 1 year. So obviously at $5,000 a month, you're including more stuff. Like we include a lot of stuff with ours, whether it's like using our retreat house and we have marketing done for you. So we have people responsible for paying, and we really cycle through the economy. Monty, you want to add anything to that?
I'm good. We can keep moving forward.
Right. Okay. So then let's go into what's included with the tribe. So the numbers here would be if you had 5 people upgrade at 12,000, then that would be 60,000, and then that would be 105,000 that you could earn from one cycle of this. So you could do this 2 times per year, and then you would be at about $250,000 at this. And as time goes on, your numbers will go up, obviously. The number of people at your retreats, people love your retreats. They will bring a friend to the next one. You'll see how your own sense of value that you provide is so clear that you'll raise your rates and more people will pay those rates. And you see how this goes up over time. This is a true virtuous cycle to be a part of. And we're really standing for you as abundant tribe leaders to get to experience this. It's been unquestionably one of the most joyful, fulfilling experiences of my entire life to be in this role of an abundant tribe leader, and the fulfillment that I get, as well as the lifestyle that goes with it, and the amazing people we get to meet at this level of tribe is truly amazing. People like Nock and Brendan and others who have become a big part of our lives. So here's what happens inside your tribe. A phrase that we came up with is revenue octopus, that inside your tribe, you're doing pretty well if you have those numbers we just went over. If you have people buy your retreat at a certain price point and have a certain number and then upgrade to your tribe, you're doing well, like that low 6 figures range. Yet we're standing for you to truly experience abundance and to have far-reaching impact and be real entrepreneurs. There's a distinction here between actually in cash flow quadrant. He talks about this. You can kind of see that, the different cash flow quadrants, where a lot of people are stuck in the S quadrant of working for their money all the time and just like having to show up as a coach at coaching sessions endlessly. And while that certainly serves a big purpose, we do want to never be limited to that. And that's why seeing it as a revenue octopus, what passive income streams could be made available through the tribe? We are big fans of network marketing. And this is another case where, not unlike when I first said retreat, you might have some voice inside of you that goes off saying, that's not for me, that's for a certain type of person, and I'm not that type of person. Again, I invite you to quiet all that noise, put it aside if that's there for you, because it'll stop you from hearing the real value and beauty of this. And Monty has really helped open my eyes to the value of network marketing and how it can be such a profound sources of revenue within your tribe. Monty, you want to speak to this part?
Absolutely. So I've done all sorts of businesses like solopreneurship, partnership, S Corp, C Corp, you name it, right? My first business I launched as a brick and mortar wellness center that was 4,000 square feet. I had about 9 employees, and the overheads were crazy. And what I realized is that if I would have understood more of the network marketing model, I could have reverse engineered some of the things where it was easier to build network marketing model through not having so much heavy investment up front. Because I lost $90,000 in personal finance from that business. And when I wanted to get launched, it was really important for me to understand what type of business I'm doing, what is my commitment with overheads, how do I want to really do this? So I actually, when I got back, I went through proper coaching and mentorship, spent around 70K in all of that. And then also at the same time, launched two businesses at the same time, where one of it was network marketing. And that business, even today, passively makes about 40 to 50K for me. And last year, I've only put in 100 hours on that business. So in a year, I'm talking annually. So what I am a stand for is people to stop making stories around what network marketing is and start understanding the value of the product, the value of the comp plan, the value of the company you're working with. Because yes, there are bad names out there because of all of these things not being overlooked, and people, they trust, they open their heart, and then they get kind of disappointed. And I would say that that's been the stories around there. So I did not really know that much about network marketing. I just looked at the comp plan as a wise business person, knowing what it feels like having a brick and mortar, losing 90K, was just like really seeing it from all sides. Like, why would I do this business? It's because of, is it sustainable, scalable, duplicatable, right? Like all of those factors mattered.
Yeah, so create a little more context around it too. This combination of being a tribe leader and doing the network marketing or MLM or direct sales is really potent. There are people who try to do network marketing as a primary business, and some succeed, obviously, yet the majority do not. And we believe this is a major reason why, is because they are not creating a true tribe and solving a problem for them in the role of coach, consultant, or healer. And let me check that real quick. I got a note to check my audio. Can you hear me okay?
I think it could be better.
That's fine. I can't adjust. I'll have to speak up. Is this okay?
Yep.
All right. So then having a tribe, and if you're talking about health and wealth in particular, there are so many extraordinary products and services, not all of them. However, there are a lot inside of health and wealth, those areas, which are the two proven areas that people will invest money into. Like far and away, that'll never change. People will, as a whole, invest the most money into their health and wealth, the greater health and greater wealth. So there are a lot of sensational products and services in the network marketing space with health and wealth. So we have found a few that we really believe in, we can recommend to you. And if you know of ones, we're always interested as well. So this is something that in your tribe that you'll be offering and then filling your downline. So therefore you can have the passive income that goes with it. So you want to be curating a tribe of leaders, not someone who is just looking to unwind for a few days in a nice location and then go back to their life afterwards. No, you want to propel people from your retreat. They're joining your tribe. One reason is to grow their downline underneath you, as well as everything else they got going on with their business and their mission. Okay. Any questions about that, you can certainly post in the chat. But we want to keep it going because our time is limited. This is something that we do. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the other comments too about the Costa Rica. let's call it, if you have connections there, yeah, absolutely. If you already connections and a strong community, if you have people who are already Costa Rica based, a lot easier to fill. And yeah, there are a lot of retreats happening in Costa Rica. So it's for me anyway, I'm like, how do I choose which one to go to? So and if you feel that's where you're called to go, then we can certainly honor that. And there might be a separate conversation to have, Mira. I'm intrigued by that. All right, let's keep going. Deal flow is usually in reference to the investment world. That's the, see this, I quadrant right there of cash flow, where how to have your money work for you. This is where real wealth gets created. Imagine the sharks on Shark Tank. That bringing in investors into your tribe, we really like this. You have something really valuable. Now, don't be, please, out of integrity or like here's a way to be out of integrity with it is that you bring someone, you haven't vetted the deal, you haven't vetted the person behind it, and then you tell them, oh, just give me a percentage of whatever investment capital you acquire from my tribe. That is a really snaky way of going about it. So please don't do that. Your tribe is sacred. This is soul family. You would not burn them any more than your children, right? This is that kind of bond to have, true family. So that said, if there is a lucrative opportunity, which the most lucrative opportunities tend to be word of mouth, by the way, they're not going to be blasted everywhere online. It's going to be through personal relationships. So if you know someone who has something and then you do due diligence, check with others about it, then say, yes, I want to bring this to my tribe. That's an example of deal flow where they themselves can get passive income returns. You're looking after your tribe. We see the role of tribe leader like being the mayor of a small town. It's a servant leadership. It's a way of putting yourself really at you're standing for them to have the best lives possible in these ways of wealth, health, spirituality. And this is one of the ways to do this on the wealth side. Okay. So if you have any fears or concerns about that, you can put that aside and just be open and curious of what that would look like for you. What else? We have through these live in-person events, we do like where that trust, any questions about the deal, how it works, about any of these revenue octopuses, then could be octopi, could be questioned or addressed at the live in-person events is always the best. Activating their wealth, health, spirituality. One reason we like to highlight this is, yes, this is the 3 areas that we're the most resonant with, and they're all mountains with no top. Someone will join your tribe to activate their wealth, health, spirituality, and they'll renew year after year. It becomes something like a church group or a chamber of commerce, where there's no question that they get enough value that they're going to renew year after year after year. That's got to be an intention that you set. And a great way to have that in place is that it's about the tribe and the quality of bonding, how much interaction and value and transformation they get in those relationships, introductions made. If you can really nurture that, then they're more likely to come back year after year. Zoom calls in between your live events to keep the tribe bonded, and then having some kind of online portal with recordings and an interactive forum. Okay, so these are just an overview of some of the steps that go along with putting on an event. If someone is not clear where to begin, you'll choose a date, book the venue, then you'll fill the room, the marketing side of it. So posting, JV partners, texting people, calling people to deliver your presentation. So whether it's a 2-hour or 3-day event, and you enroll them into your offering. So if you're newer on this, and we do work with people, by the way, who are newer on this track. So when Brendan came to us, he had just left Landmark. That was early this year. And we were helping him launch his coaching business. So he's not yet done retreats, yet is doing really well with his online community and serving his coaching clients that way. And it's been really fantastic seeing you quintuple your income since we started up. So If you're doing a 2-hour presentation, then you could enroll them to a one-on-one complimentary consultation, and then they could buy your online classes, or if it's doing a group thing, or a one-on-one package. So we have a lot of experience helping people do that as well. And if you're doing the 3-day event, then you enroll them into your tribe. We have a lot of experience with helping people do that too. So then you'll deliver that offering, and then you'll go into the next offering thereafter. And then this is the virtuous cycle that continues on. All right, we'd love to hear from you in the chat. What do you see possible as a tribe leader? If you had live events be part of your business, what do you see possible in terms of your income, your impact, the fulfillment that you would get to experience? You could light up the chat. We would love to hear about you, because this is all about you. Who would like to share in the chat? What do you see possible? Love it, Knock. Unlimited potential. Can you say a little more about that specifically?
My experience of our community has been very powerful in the sense that we're all connected in the things that we're doing. And as your own business owner, it's all on you. It's what you do. There's no ceiling to what you want to do and achieve, right? When you're in corporate, I was in corporate for 23 years. There's a ceiling in corporate. And that's why I left. And being an entrepreneur, it's all based on me, what I put into my business, what I want, what do I envision, and what I want to create, and the community that I get to connect with in sharing. And for me, there's no limit to what I can see as the future.
Beautiful. Brendan, I see the opportunity to use my existing community as a basis for building a retreat and growing from there. Yeah, Brendan, so you're really following the playbook exceptionally well. You're growing. We have said before that earning $10,000 a month from your one-on-one practice, it's a nice, healthy base to have before you would launch your first retreat. You have some income, your business is proven, people will pay, and they trust you. They'll likely sign up for your retreats. You'll more than cover the cost of your retreats from those signups, plus all the new people who are retreat people who will be signing up for that. And then you can be off and running, like truly launched. So we definitely see that for you, Brendan. Sherry, healthy outlets growing and sprouting all over the world. Well, that excites us. Fantastic. Hipsy says, I see offering 7 to 10 retreats biannually. I love that you confirmed that beginning locally is the right way, as my plan is to build my client base locally here around the SD area. Oh, you're in San Diego like us. Fantastic. And then with more experience, explore international. Yes, that's very much thinking like an entrepreneur. There is a practical side to being an entrepreneur, contrary to what some entrepreneurs practice. So we definitely love that for you, building that base. All right, we want to give you a taste of our tribe right now. So we have a short video that we're going to share with you right now, and you'll recognize some familiar faces in this.
The things that I love about the abundance retreats is like you can walk in and not meet a single soul, and by the time you leave, you literally have family that you probably have been traveling with throughout eons. What John and Monty have done with Abundant Tribe Leaders is they've literally are gathering all of the Abundant Tribe leaders who are leaders in their own tribe, and they're gathering them so we can collectively learn, grow, not only for ourselves but for our tribe. And so it's like a hub for leaders, which I find really, really cool and really necessary.
Coming here and meeting everybody, we're on the same path. We care about health and we care about wealth.
My name is John Block. I'm the co-founder of Abundant Tribe Leader.
My name is Dr. Mansi Shah, and I'm the co-founder of Abundant Tribe Leader.
Abundant Tribe Leader is for coaches and consultants who are burnt out from the one-on-one model. Really, it's about stepping into a much higher level of leadership that involves leading in-person events. This is where you make the biggest impact and have the greatest abundance possible. The first step in the ATLOS is leadership and training you to be a captivating public speaker.
The second step is achieving authority in your personal brand through nailing your brand story.
The third step is creating a hybrid delivery model of both in-person retreats and online trainings. Next is the art of community building.
The fifth and most important step is achieving all this without burnout through holistic health, biohacking, and spiritual activation.
When you put all these together, it's inevitable that you become an abundant tribe leader, that you have the biggest impact you've ever had in people's lives, that you are the most abundantly rewarded because you provide such extraordinary value. That's what we're standing for.
I feel this sense of true acceptance, compassion, support for one another. That's allowed me to level up, not just here, but also outside of here.
We have games, hiking, sound bath healing, we have medicine-based movement, we have channeling, we have Akashic records, and you name it, you get it there. Even to relive your inner child again is what you get to experience over there.
There isn't one thing that I don't love, celebrate, and honor about the Abundant Tribe community.
So my name is Chris Gandy, better known as the Tax Wizard. I'm super excited about being a part of John and Monsi's community because it's like family. You meet people and you build relationships over time, and those are the relationships that end up feeding you and sourcing your energy as you continue to build your network and also build your organization and enterprise in a community where you can actually collaborate and also expand each other's wealth.
I hold myself back. I have self-doubts. I have fears. Do I have what it takes? Just being surrounded by this tribe, I mean, literal tribe, it's given me the confidence seeing other people's growth, but once again, believing in me that I do have what it takes. I do have gifts that I really want to share, and I've held myself back, and I'm done with it.
This is for you if you're calling for a deeper truth, a deeper connection of shared values, if you're willing to do the inner work, if you have a higher mission for humanity, if you are really inspired by having unlimited health and wealth in your life, then connect with us.
We invite you to have a conversation with us to see if this is a good fit, to join us with our soul family at the Abundance Retreat. Thank you.
All right, I was reading in the
Welcome
chat.
to the 15-minute morning yoga routine. We'll begin in a seated position on our mats.
Our yoga instructor is showing up next.
She's committed to us. Thank you, Sarah Beth. So I think in the chat, some of you have to jump at the top of the hour, and that's all the time we allowed for too. So we can stay on for a few minutes more if there's questions. However, we'll just get right into it. That if you see something here that you feel is worth exploring, if you're interested in coming to one of our abundance retreats, just text me, and what we'll do is set up a call. I have time starting tomorrow to be doing a call, and then we also have times on Monday, and then we're off to speak in Denver on Monday evening. So we prefer to meet with you tomorrow while it's fresh, gang. So transformation has a half-life. This is one reason, by the way, that you must offer someone to join your tribe while they're at your retreat, is because when time passes and then the magic gets lost and the clarity and all that, so we want to harness this together by having this one-on-one with you. So I'm going to post my cell phone number in the chat right now, and you can text me right now and say you'd like to have a session together to see what's possible for you. And we'll dive into your tribe creation, what your niche is, what you're charging right now, what your pathway is forward to be earning your next $10,000 per month, to be earning $10,000 per month, or your next 100,000, 250,000 per year. This is what we do, gang. Okay, so we've done it for many people. We'll do it for you. I've been doing this since 2011. This is my dharma. So I'm happy to dive into that with you, and we'll go from there. Okay, so
absolutely.
Yeah, a couple things I'll just add about that is that we're not for everyone. This is not a volume-based, like, let's just cram as many, oh, I hate this phrase, butts in seats as possible. This is really about calling forth leaders who are on this frequency of wealth, health, and spirituality. And we talked a bit about what the true wealth is. It's breaking free from the Wall Street cartel, from the American education system that's taught us to be employees, that taught us nothing about investing. So if you're passionate about that, helping others create real wealth, then you're going to resonate with us, most likely. True health, we refer to a movement away from the corporate allopathic, a pill for every ill, crash dieting approach to health, if you can even call it that. Instead, this is for natural, regenerative, functional wellness, what's been called alternative health, to really make that more mainstream. That's what we mean by health. So a lot of holistic remedies. We want to get this out in the world in a much bigger way. So you resonate with that, then you resonate with us too. And spirituality, what we mean by that is this personal alignment with a higher power, that it doesn't need to go through a church or a temple or any other kind of doctrine or some book that was written a long time ago, that you have your own personal connection with higher power. Now, you might be religious as well. I was raised Jewish, Monty was raised Hindu, so we have some connection with that. We do not believe that spirituality is any way better than religion. We just believe that religion is incomplete if there's not the spiritual component to it. So for those reasons, we really align with this, that these are the leaders that we're here to empower. So if you have a relationship with a higher consciousness and you feel like, yeah, I would like to activate that in others, then you would definitely resonate with us as well. So one of, if not all three of those, then that's who we're here to serve. Then act today. Go ahead and text me at that number I just provided, and then we can get you scheduled. I'm already seeing the text come in, so that's fantastic. And I will open it up for some shares since we are at top of the hour. Amir asked the job. Okay, so I'm just looking at the comments. I have tripled my income twice in the ATL. Do it. Thank you, Brendan. Yes, definitely acknowledgement to you. You got to show up and take the action, as Brendan does, and be profoundly coachable, as he is as well. As strong-willed as you are at times, you're always very coachable. I love that about you. Okay, got it, Xavier. Be in touch. Sherry, if you have any questions right now, you're free to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask those.
That's my line. Sure. So thank you so much for sharing. I feel like I'm in a beginning place with this and just starting to really like gather community and work with community. I'm also an artist, so very artist minded. So definitely need help more on the like money making entrepreneur side. But wondering about starting your tribe, is the model that we're duplicating what you guys are doing as far as really working with coaches, consultants, and leaders, or is there flexibility to have a different type of clientele?
There's definitely flexibility. So you serve the audience that you are called to serve and has a proven track record for investing in this kind of support. So here's why I stipulate the second part of that. When I was launching my coaching business, I mentioned earlier that I work with artists in the music and arts sphere. And I would put them on stage at my festivals. And then I decided I'm gonna be a business coach. And this is my community. So I'm gonna work with artists, musicians on business coaching because they need it, in my opinion, based on what I hear them vent about. They could really use some business coaching. Nobody was willing to invest in it. My gosh, the stories that I heard and the way it messed internally with my value, that's the part that I have the biggest issue with. It takes a lot, gang, to be on this entrepreneur journey. It takes a lot to believe in yourself, to stand for your value, to stand for the lifestyle you want to get paid, to look at Oprah or Elon Musk and say, why not me? Why can't I have that kind of success? It takes a lot to get yourself psychologically to that place, it is essential that your clients, your tribe members, be ones who empower you in this way. When you say the investment is X, they say, here you go. Here's my credit card. I'm in because I resonate with you. I know that this is valuable. Let's go, right? And we help you with that, obviously, with not just like the pricing and then the psychology and the personal empowerment, the communication, how to choose that niche. So that's my first response to what you just shared. Do you have a sense of who that audience could be, Sherry?
Well, so my dream has been to have artists and tourists come together in these like Caribbean residencies. So being able to serve artists through having resident artists be able to come do their art, work together, network, but also have tourists come who are interested in the arts and supporting the arts, and to be able to also just mingle with the artist, do excursions like in the area around arts and community, and also have this theme of wellness and have classes for both the artist and the tourist interested in arts and wellness.
I love it. I love it so much. You could very well be the one who cracks the code on how to make a financial difference for artists in ways that I never did. So I'm personally lit up about this. Tourists are an audience, obviously, that is proven to spend money, has the money to spend, and kind of spends it on dumb stuff oftentimes. Like tourists don't know where to go oftentimes. Yeah. Hence the whole value of having a tour guide or some program when you arrive somewhere. So I could very easily see you being that person for them and having a very unique angle. For those who don't want to visit SeaWorld and the zoo for the 20th time, you'd be providing them something else to experience and showcasing the local artists. And I could see over time that the same group that might come to San Diego might want to go to Austin, might want to go to Soho, might want to go to, the Bay Area obviously has a lot of great spots for this. And this would be how you expand on the years to come.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Starting locally is definitely a way to go. And I would love to speak with you further about that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll text you. I'd love to speak more. I'm in the Temecula area, so I'm in SoCal
you're not far at all.
too.
We did our last retreat in Fallbrook, second to last in Fallbrook.
Yeah, I had a retreat in Fallbrook too last summer, which was good.
All right, sweet. I look forward to hearing from you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Cool. Sandra, do you have any questions?
I think you pretty much answered that question, John. I believe it was Mira that asked the question, how does, your methodology tie into, say, if I do move forward with hosting retreats, several retreats, how does your methodology, how does it serve you? And I think that's what the strategy call is in place for. And I have texted you. So I think as someone who has hosted 2 empowerment retreats before, I already know the value of how powerful and magnetic these events are when you bring your target audience together, high caliber, in my case, high caliber leaders that want to build strategic alliances. And that's who, I cater my coaching and services to. So having said that, I think one of the questions that comes up for me is, I know I'm hosting an upcoming event. Do I want to make it just this a la carte, so to speak, event for now? Because, of uncertainty, I don't know. I want to do more speaking engagements and so forth. But building our tribe is just, and the way you positioned it is such a good thing. And that's why I'm moving forward with a strategy call, because it's like, oh my goodness, it is about doing the thing that I want more than anything, building my tribe, giving them consistent value, and then having them as well benefit from what, this empowerment retreat or mastermind that I'm putting together. So I think for me, that's just some of the questions that have come up. And again, you can answer that in the strategy call or now.
We definitely will dive further in the strategy call. And since this is coming up right now, and there's others here who might benefit from it, we'll address that a little bit. Your event that's coming up later this month, which looks awesome, by the way. When you show me the flyer, I'm like, wow, this is really well done. And where my thought always goes to is, what are you going to offer at the end of it? So typically, and then you can clarify for me where you are in your business, what makes the most sense. But typically, someone is out to fill their one-on-one practice first because of the low overhead that goes with it. Truly, all you need is a laptop and a cell phone, and then you can have like a lucrative one-on-one practice. And if you know that retreats is somewhere in your future, what you could do is create a package where you offer your one-on-one coaching services, consulting services, and then you include a retreat on calendar for 6 months from now, where the coaching package will culminate at the end of that 6 months. Because guess what you're going to offer at that retreat? The opportunity to join your tribe at that retreat. So you get the income. So let's just say, easy number, $1,000 a month for 6 months. So it's a $6,000 investment. And then the game you're playing is to be having 10 of those clients, let's say. And then that's your $10,000 a month right there. So you have that base, like we talked about with Brendan earlier, the $10,000 a month. And then when it comes to the retreat, then you'll have that already included. So it's already prepaid for, you might say. You already have your costs covered. And then the sales will come from them joining your tribe at that point. How does that sound to you?
That's a great idea. That's another option that, it's a viable option, but I think at where I'm at right now, so that the thing I'm hosting here in San Diego is an event. It's helping, entrepreneurs, leaders scale their businesses and, what I'm passionate about, servant leadership. So so that's an event that I hear what you're saying. At that event, I can, obviously promote my services and then offer the retreat or mastermind on the back end. But I actually do have an event like in the next couple of months.
That's the one you showed me yesterday, right?
Whoa, there's another one. There's another one.
What's the other one?
It's actually my first mastermind, but it's like curated, and this is where I would love, your thoughts and Dr. Mancy's thoughts, as far as I'm looking for exclusivity, like curated, high caliber leaders that want to connect and build strategic alliances so I can keep providing. So it's going to be in Playa del Carmen. I'm actually not only looking, I'm super excited. And that's why I was like, oh my gosh, John, and Mancy came in at a perfect time in my life. So not only am I looking for, attendees and high caliber leaders, but I'm looking for speakers. And so that's why I'm like, connecting with you yesterday was incredible. And some of the other leaders I met yesterday. But yeah, so I have so many other questions, not to keep you or hold any of the other ladies here in attendance. But that's the thing where I'm like, I need the strategy call to find out, okay, am I interested in doing this mastermind a la carte once, or which I already know this is like my third event. So I'm like, I love in-person events, and I love Mexico because I'm always down there. So it's just an ideal fit for me. So, but yeah, no, I'm really excited to book I texted you about the strategy call. My venue's booked. I just need people to show up.
Well, look forward to diving in with you. And one thing I'll say for everyone here is that on one side, you have the teacher model, which is I'm the expert and I'm the one on stage as all the information, and you're going to do some version of what I say and hopefully have some semblance of my success, right? That's one type of approach that we all recognize. I mean, it's really in the seminar world an extension of what we grew up with in school. Like they're teaching us like how to do something that they can do. We don't believe that's the most effective way to empower people. Now, on the other side, you have what will be called a peer advisory group. Masterminds are often used in this context where we're all peer level. We're here to have each other's backs and support one another. So again, really valuable in its own way too. However, not particularly lucrative compared to the first model, which you write books, you have your own podcast. It's really positioning you as a leader, right? Now, what we're standing for is a hybrid between those two, where yes, you are the one teaching, imparting your expertise, and you're also sourcing the wisdom of your tribe, your collective, because chances are you brought some really amazing people together, especially use a word like curated. We use that word like daily. So you have really wise, exceptional people there who have a lot of value to provide one another. So it would be, again, criminal to not showcase that, to do that in such a way where you event in such a way where that expertise could be shared and everyone really benefit. So they'll still see you as a leader because you have shared your expertise and you're the one who's brought them together, and they'll see it as even more valuable to be part of your tribe and continue on and on. Is that a helpful way to look at it?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's kind of been my experience and my growth. So having done those 2 retreats before that were also in Mexico, I was the go-to person. They came to me because I had spoken at their events, and the people, you know, that's how they got a hold of me. But the last 2, that's how it was. Like they were coming to see me. This mastermind, I've learned, I'm like, oh no, I want to benefit as well. Like I want to bring an AI person, you know, that's well-versed in Web3. And I bring like the how to master your executive presence. So it's like, whoa, you know, I want to like every day feel like, oh my God, I am surrounded by greatness and I love this and I'm learning so much. And it's just, it's given me the dopamine hit before. And I know the better I get, the more it'll propel me forward. So I can see how what you're talking about, that whole hybrid, you know, I can use it to my advantage, but good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I did get your text, 951, it looks like. That's you, 951? Okay, we'll go ahead and get something set up. All right, thank you, gang. We always conclude with saying, together we rise. Wealth, health, spirituality. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.